So, where do you want to start?
Let me just turn on this recording really quick.
Okay.
Just tell me. What did you have in mind?
In terms of what is what I'm asking.
Just tell me what you want to talk about. I just want to listen right now. It's okay.
Okay, that's fine. So, as I'm sure you know, the last hearing, all of our stuff was pretty much denied, except
Yes.
we got one extra day. Now, as you know, I have some issues with the JL report. One, that it's not factual, which I can bring up all the evidence that shows all that stuff that proves it.
Well, if
Can I please finish? And then as well as, with the whole GL report as well, is that's going to be looked at with a professional as well as by the judge, during the January 15th hearing.
Right.
So while I know, the JL report says one thing, you have to think about what the court's actually been doing, and the fact that if the JL report is completely infactual, which I am saying it is, and I can show that it is that case, then it's not going to look too good in court, you know what I mean, with the way everything's been playing out and with all the evidence.
Sorry, just 1 second, please. Okay.
So with that being said, like I've been trying to do since April and since of March of 2020, I would like to settle this and get all this divorce stuff taken care of. Because the longer this goes on, the more we're gonna have to, spend in both lawyer fees and everything else. And that takes away from not only, our mutual assets, but it also takes away from the children's, asset of being able to have quality time with their parents who are not stressed and not having to worry about money or their housing situation or anything else.
Okay.
So what were you going to say?
Well, just because I think the guardian ad litem report, if you disagree with it, the commissioner said that it's your burden to dispute that.
Which I will be doing during trial.
I understand that, and so that's the thing. I don't think we should be discussing that. If we can't come up with an agreement.
Well, you agreed to talk about things that we've disagreed about, including the jail report. If you're not willing to go over the evidence that I have that proves that completely infactual, which would also be shown in court, then we have no reason to do this, because then we're going to automatically be having to go to court just to discuss this. So it doesn't save any of us attorney fees or anything else, and I don't think you want to keep spending thousands of dollars. I know I don't want to keep spending thousands of dollars towards attorney fees, but at the end of the day, you have to remember, you know what I mean? None of us have money. None of us have, finances to do this or anything else.
Okay, but I feel like what we're here to do is to compromise, right?
Right, and we also said to look at the factual evidence. We cannot compromise if we're not willing to go over the factual evidence and realize that that's going to hold extremely high weight in court.
Well, what kind of compromise do you want to make?
Well, that is what I'm trying to come to. But it seems like you're not even willing to compromise that the JL report could be infactual, or that you want to go to court about that. Which, if you want to go to court about the JL report, then we can. But that just completely makes this whole entire meeting invalidated.
No, I don't want to go to court. I don't want to go to court because I don't want to have to go through all this stuff.
And neither do I, which is why I'm trying to agree with you about the JL report. And if I'm able to prove it's factually wrong, then we can both come to a mutual agreement that it's wrong, correct? If all of the evidence and points that he puts in there are factually proven wrong.
I'm not going to be strong-armed into disagreeing with something that I already agree with.
I understand why you agree with it, because it says everything that you said. However, I would like to also point out that he never even looked at the videos that I have. And we know this because there was a Dropbox links, and had he looked at them, it would have shown that.
I've seen what videos are you referring to? Because I've seen multiple videos.
Okay, and I have lots of other videos,
and
Chris.
I also know that you sent those videos to SAPD, and they called me, and they didn't even find that.
I understand, Chris.
So
Chris, you are trying to fight about this. We're not trying to get emotions involved. We're trying to use factual evidence now.
But I'm not going to be disputing the guardian ad litem's report here.
Okay, then we can just might as well leave, because if you're not willing to compromise over things when I have factual evidence that proves everything wrong, including when we sold the house and all the stuff that you told the guardian ad litem, which is in that report, but he doesn't even consider any of the stuff that I have as factual.
You think there's a reason for that?
Yes, because he didn't look at any of the evidence, Chris. He never looked at the Dropbox links. What do you think is going to happen when the judges look at those Dropbox links?
Well,
what do you think is going to happen when the judges look at those drop-off videos that I have, which I am trying to get the kids to come with?
I don't believe that they're going to. I believe that the courts are going to continue to favor in my direction as they've been going this entire time.
That's why the courts did not go with the JL's report. The JL's report, as you noticed, was told to give you all of the decision making. They didn't do that. They haven't been favoring you. They've been favoring me and going along with what the JL report says. Now, if the JL report is proven infactual, which it's going to be during trial.
You will have to do that.
If you want to do that during court, we can do that during court. But I'm saying, do you want to talk about the JL report and let us compromise about other things?
I will listen to what you say, but I'm not going to make any decisions about that here.
Well, then
that report is not going to. That's going to be something that we need to talk about in court.
Okay, if you want to talk, no, I'm not going to talk about anything unless you're willing to talk about the jail report, because the jail report goes over both custody, it goes over who gets to make the decisions, it gets over everything. If you're not willing to talk about that, that shows me you're not willing to talk about anything at all.
That's not true.
Because the jail report goes over everything. So it's up to you. Do you want to go over this jail report and the evidence that I have that you said you'd be willing to go over in the email?
I will see anything you want to show me today. I will absolutely look at everything you want to show me, but I'm not. You're not going to be able to just strong arm me into disagreeing with what you're saying.
I'm not strong arming you. You're taking your emotions into this. We're not taking facts into this.
Go ahead and show me what you got, because I'm here and I'll look.
Okay.
But I'm not.
Is that the GAL report? Because I would like to
I don't have
show
that.
you. Okay, well, can you please bring it up on your phone?
I have some questions too about some medical records. I can't really bring anything up on my phone right now. Neither of us can, so.
No, I can.
Okay, well there you go.
I don't have the GL report currently, but I can go over some of the stuff that I specifically remember in there.
That's fine with me.
You are interrupting. Are you going to be cooperative through this, or are you just going to keep interrupting me and allowing your emotions to get to the better of you? Please stop, okay? Now, we talked about specifically in the GL report, he believes that I, came out to you after we sold the house, which is not true.
You came out to me in the apartment.
Let me finish talking.
You came out to me in the apartment. I remember that specifically. Okay. Don't lie to me about that. That's false.
Chris, are we going to talk about this or not?
Yeah, we're talking about that, but every time
Chris,
I hear something false,
you
I'm
said
it's
in
false.
the report, and this is what the GL said, that the house was sold in February, and then I came out to you in March.
You have
You
have all of the documents. You have all the documents.
Yes,
I have
and
no
I told
documents.
You exactly.
How would I be able to know that if I don't have the documents?
It says here it was sold in June of 2019.
Okay, you got it.
And I came out to you in March of 2019. Yes, I did.
That's a lie.
And we listed the house in May of 2019. After I came out.
You came out to me in the apartment after the house was sold, and you know that.
Chris, I did not, and this is what you were saying. You also said to the GAL that I did not tell you or come out to you until after we agreed to move. You were the one that wanted to move, and it says so in your counseling reports. Let me finish talking. It also says in the counseling reports that I was never abusive to you, specifically your words, not mine, that I was never verbally, emotionally, physically abusive. Let me finish talking. Okay. This was in your June regular therapy appointment.
June?
I believe June or July of 2019.
And I specifically said that you were not abusive to me.
Can I please finish talking? I will bring up the Dropbox links if you would like, but you are interrupting me, and I cannot continue talking or trying to talk about what we're trying to compromise about unless I can be allowed to talk without
talking a lot.
Because you're interrupting me a lot. Would you like to go ahead and talk? I won't interrupt. Go ahead. Tell me your side.
I believe that there's a lot of things that you've said over the last year and a half that are very false.
And I have all the evidence that proves them correct.
Well, you've had a year and a half opportunity to show them to everybody. If they're not looking at them, that's not my fault. If you've sent them to the police, if you send them to the police and the evidence says what you think it says, then I probably would have been charged with something. I was not charged.
Because you have to understand that only 1% of all rape cases actually get persecuted.
I wasn't talking about that. And
because that is what I sent the police. I sent the police those videos, and I sent the police Marlon's thing in the March 2020 report, in which she talks about how you admitted to the rape during the DV.
I did not.
You did, and that's in her police report. If you'd like to look at it.
I've looked at her police report. It doesn't say that.
Yes, it does.
And why is her police report different than her statement to the courts?
It's not. It's all the exact same, Chris.
Than what you're saying.
Chris, it sounds like you don't want to compromise. Are we going to go over this?
I'm asking you questions. I'm asking you questions. You're not answering them.
Write them down, and I will answer all of them with the factual evidence I have. Go ahead. That's why I brought them right forward. I'm wanting, because you keep interrupting me with things that you're saying are problematic. I would like to know what's problematic to you, and I will get the evidence that I have, and I will give it to you. You're recording it, right?
You can hear me. Recording. Listen. Why were all three of Marlon's reports
Chris, no, I need it written down so I can get it right now for you. Because the
You don't
Marlin
need to.
reports are not different, but we can go over them. We can go over them.
Well,
we can
show me
highlight
that. You
them.
know what I'm saying.
Chris,
Go
I
look for
need
them.
all of them down, all of your issues down, so I can go over them all at once, Chris. That is what I'm asking for.
Why did
Chris,
you,
I'm asking
why
for
did-
all of them to
you're
be
not,
written
you're not,
down.
You don't look like you want to compromise right now.
I'm wanting to
You're not even
compromise
willing to
with
listen
you.
to what I say.
I'm wanting you to write them down so I
Hold
can
on to
actually
that,
have
and you
it.
can hear what I'm saying, and I will
Chris,
email you all the things.
Then do it. Write it down now so I can show you the evidence because you were willing to talk about the evidence.
You can
That is
show
what
me-
you said
you
in the
can show
email.
me the-
If you, I cannot show you the evidence when you're repeatedly asking me.
I'm asking one question.
I am
Why is
asking-
Marlon's statement different every
Okay,
time?
then we will go over Marlon's statements
do it.
right now.
Do it.
And then after we
Thank
do
you.
that, what would you like to go over
I
after
don't know.
that?
One thing at a time, please.
No, we would like to go over multiple things.
One thing
Chris.
at a time, please.
I only have so much time, Chris.
Well,
so
so
that's
do
what
I.
I'm asking you. So we're gonna go over
Marlon's statements.
Marlon's statements.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, now
And
what's
then-
next?
Wait, stop. I'm not done with that.
I'm asking
why
what's
Why
next?
did she tell Eric and Amanda that that there was no abuse in the house and that there was nothing?
She
that
did
what
not,
said
and
she-
they don't have any evidence
do.
of that.
They do,
do they have a
and
video,
there's an
video recording? There's no video recording.
There's an
she called them to tell
affidavit.
them.
There's an affidavit
she,
that the police
let me
will-
finish
that the
talking.
courts will
She
look at
called
it.
them and she wrote a statement about that. And I was there during the phone call because it was over Bluetooth in her car after she came back from work. Now.
They have an audio recording.
Okay, then why wasn't that present at the court? Why
Because
hasn't that
we-
presented? Because it's supposed to be presented during discovery. Because if you have any
If
video
you
evidence, it's presented
can-
to all be presented.
I don't have that.
Well, exactly. So since you don't have it, you
an
don't have the
issue.
evidence.
You have an issue with your videos. You're saying they don't look at your videos, but I have audio recordings they're not looking at either. It doesn't mean it's not going to have any. It doesn't mean that they're not going to consider it.
Okay,
in
so we'll
courts.
do Eric and Amanda's thing.
Yes. Why is that?
Okay, now what's the next one, Chris? Hello.
Sorry. That's,
Yep.
Take that. That's for me.
Yeah, okay. Do you have the number?
I don't. I think I might have left it over there. I'm sorry. Okay. So there was never any charges filed against me for anything.
Okay, we're not talking
the
about
DVPO
charges.
was
We're
dropped.
not because
so why
it was
are we still
dropped.
bringing this up?
We are bringing this up because if it happened, the police report
Did it
talked about it
happen?
happened. It did happen. Okay, so the DV, you think it
said-
didn't happen.
You
So
said it happened.
DV
It
incident.
doesn't mean it happened.
The police talks about how he specifically sees my busted lip in the report, and then the other one that interviewed you said that you're going through a mental health crisis. So
Which
I'm
one
just
were you-
gonna say, let's look at the police statements.
Why
We'll go
Why
over.
wasn't it filed then?
It was.
It
It
was
was
not.
filed because we didn't
wasn't.
have it at the time,
No, it was
and
not
that
filed.
was why it was
Why
said.
weren't charges brought against me?
Chris, we will go over that. Okay, so I'm
Fine,
not the
why
judge.
Why were charges? No, there's
Am
no,
I the commissioner? Am I the commissioner?
No,
Am I
but-
the judge? So I don't know why charges
You're
weren't.
you're yelling.
I'm not yelling,
Listen
Chris.
to me.
I'm talking to you in
If
a very
there
calm
was,
voice right
if there
now.
were charges filed,
Chris.
then I would have to go to criminal court. There are no charges filed, so there's no criminal court. It means I
Chris,
don't have
I'm
to go
not
over
the
this.
commissioner.
Yes,
No,
you're not the
okay,
commissioner,
then
but
we're
you're-
not doing this. So, do you want to go over this stuff or not? Because we can go over the police reports, and which the police say he saw as my busted lip, where the other police says that he sees you're going through a mental breakthrough and start talking to yourself and hitting your head. Do you want to go over that?
go
We
over
can
that.
if you would like.
There's
Okay,
medical
so.
records. You don't need to go
All right,
over
you're
that.
right. And
There's
speaking of
medical
said
records.
medical records, you claim to the GL, which he also didn't look at, that during the May 8th incidents, when you went inpatient after threatening to commit suicide in front of the children and myself,
Children were not present.
and we were in the room
Children
when
were
that
not present.
happened, and
No,
I have
the
video of that,
and I've seen
and
it
I
because
have video.
You've sent that to
Let me
Nick
finish talking, please.
and
Let
Andy,
me
and I've seen
finish
it.
talking, please.
But you lied about the context of that video.
I
was
did
not
not,
in any
Chris.
way
Chris.
trying to.
Okay, are we going to do
You're
this
not
or not?
interested in listening to me.
You are interrupting me. How is that showing that you're interested in listening to me?
I'm asking you to write this
okay.
stuff down, and I'm
No,
saying.
you said I asked you to write this down. You didn't refuse
If
to do it.
I
How is
see
that compromising?
something that is false.
Okay, you have a couple of seconds to
you
please
wanna
stop
leave,
interrupting
go
me.
leave.
Chris, I just want you to stop interrupting me.
Okay, go
This
ahead.
is why we cannot get into a compromise. Do you want to spend another $30,000-$40,000 going to trial?
I don't.
Well, then let's
Why do you think I'm
compromise.
here?
Why do you think I'm here? So try to
Good.
compromise,
This
or
is
else
not
I'm leaving.
compromise. You have a list.
All right.
You have a list of accusations that you're not even willing to. I want.
I'm trying to talk to you about it. You're not willing. If you're not willing to talk about this, then we can just go to court. I'm trying to talk to you. So, are we going to talk, or are you going to keep interrupting me and refusing to go over these matters? This is your last chance, Chris. I'm really trying. I've been trying for 15 minutes now, but you keep interrupting me, and I've been able to write down 2 things that you
ahead.
wanted to talk about.
I'm just having issues with the things you're saying as I'm seeing them.
And I'm asking you to write them down, and you're refusing to do that because you know that once you have them written down, I'll be able to then get all of the evidence all at once.
With paper. With paper.
So write it down then, like I've been asking. So the GAL report, Eric and Amanda, Marlon's statement, what was the other thing?
only issue with dealing with it like this in this venue, I've thought that if we're going to supersede court, we would come with a compromise in spite of all this, because this is the stuff that would be going through in court.
Yes, because this
I
is
don't feel
what's
comfortable
factually evident.
discussing this
Okay, then
without
I'm
my
not doing
lawyer.
this because you don't want to go over the facts. Because if you don't want to go over the facts, that's fine. Then that means we're not willing to compromise. All right. Because at the end of the day, I just want to be able to compromise over the facts. We said we were going to talk about things in a factual way, not an emotional. And you're,
Don't want to compromise.
Chris,
not being
I'm trying to.
emotional. Everyone's throwing up.
I'm trying to compromise and go over factual things. You don't want to go over factual things. That tells me it's emotional. Goodbye, Chris. Thank you. Excuse me? Here you go. Sorry. No problem.